Hey guys, I am back after just binging the whole entire TV show for We Were Liars on Amazon Prime. Man, was that a crazy ride. Okay, so today I'm going to give you my TV series review for We Were Liars, and I'm going to do a book versus TV series for the novel of the same name by E. Lockhart. Got a lot to talk about, and I've got a lot to say. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, basically what this TV show, it's about the same thing as the book. They really didn't stray from the plot line that much. You have Cadence Sinclair, who is the first granddaughter of the famous Harris Sinclair. He's like this rich tycoon, and he owns a private island called Beechwood. Well, Cadence and the rest of the liars, which is Cadence, Mirren, Johnny, and Gat go on the island every year, and they basically have a ton of fun. I don't even know how else to describe it. But during summer 16, Cadence, or Katie, has an accident that leaves her with amnesia, and she doesn't remember anything from summer 16. So she comes back summer 17 with the rest of the liars, which is Gat, Johnny, and Mirren, and she tries to figure out what happened to her that summer and why no one is telling her the truth. So she wants to find out who caused the accident and what exactly happened and why everyone is keeping secrets. You have a lot going on in this TV show. Like, you also get subplots with the moms and a lot of drama. This could have been a reality TV show just following the moms and Harris Sinclair, who's the grandfather. To get into my review, I don't understand why everyone is hating on this TV show. I really enjoyed it. I seriously enjoyed it. Like, I mean, I obviously read the book, so I knew what I was getting into, and I knew everything that was going on because I read the book. So I can't tell you whether or not things didn't make sense or did make sense, or wow, okay, I wouldn't have thought of that, or it was predictable, because I knew everything that happened. But I really liked that I knew everything. I seriously enjoyed it, and I don't understand why everyone is hating on it, because it really had a great amount of drama. I love the romance. Gat and Katie were just perfect. Seriously, Emily Allen Lint and I'm gonna butcher his name, Shubham Maheshwari, their chemistry on screen was just amazing. They were so great. They really brought Cadence and Gat to life, and I loved every scene that they were in. On top of that, Johnny, who is played by Joseph Zeta, he was one of my favorites. I honestly think he was my favorite character. I love Johnny. If you liked JJ from Outer Banks, you're going to adore Johnny. He just gives you that same vibe. Mirren is played by Esther McGregor, and she was so cute and like pixie-like, and I really enjoyed her character, and I think Esther McGregor did a great job of bringing Mirren to life. All of that light, airy kind of character personality traits. Those are like our four main actors and actresses. I'll get into the other ones later on once I go over some of the other characters. But as far as the story goes, and this is spoiler free right now, I'll let you know before I get into any spoilers. As far as the story goes, this family was insane. They were not this insane in the book. I don't remember them being this insane in the book. But you have all of the sisters who are Harris Sinclair's daughters and Harris and Tipper Sinclair's daughters. You have Bess, aka Caroline Forbes. I mean, you know, she's played by Candace King. And Bess is Mirren's mom. You have Carrie, who is played by Mammy Gummer, and she's Johnny's mom. And then you have Penny, who's played by Caitlin Fitzgerald, and she's Cadence's mother. Cadence is an only child. Johnny has a little brother, Will, and Mirren has like two sisters. They're twins. And so you have all of those. Carrie is a recovering addict. Bess is like this perfect little housewife, but her husband is absolutely insane. Don't like him. And Penny is just really uptight and crazy, to be honest. And she's going through a really bad divorce with Cadence's dad. But as far as the moms go, Bess was the absolute worst. I am so sorry, Mirren, because out of the really short sticks, they're already really short, Mirren drew the shortest one, because Bess was horrible. The whole entire TV show, I'm like, wow, how can you be a mom and act like this? Because it was bad. It was really, really bad, and I did not like it at all. And then you have Ed. And Ed is Carrie's partner, and Ed is played by Rahul Kohli. I think I said that right. And he is Gat's uncle. Ed is Gat's uncle. Ed was probably my favorite character next to Johnny, and I really enjoyed Ed, but Ed is my typical favorite character of the sweet, innocent guy who does not deserve all of the shit that happens to him. Anyway, a lot happens in this first season, but I really like young adult drama TV shows. Like, I enjoyed The Vampire Diaries, and Julie Plec was also a showrunner on The Vampire Diaries, and she's a showrunner for We Were Liars. So this, I think she does an amazing job when she does shows like this, and she really knows how to bring people in, especially with the dramatic aspects of things, because this one is really dramatic. As far as the acting goes, I think Emily Allen Lynn did the best job. I think she was an amazing Cadence, and I think she really pulled in everything that Cadence was and brought it to life. My least favorite actor was probably Harris Sinclair's actor, who's David Morse. But it wasn't even necessarily the actor's fault, because the character was so flat. There was nothing to Harris Sinclair. He was just this brutal, horrible man, and I didn't like him. So his character had nothing to him. He was just bad. He was a horrible, horrible patriarch for the family. And so I didn't like that. And I don't think that has a lot to say about David Morse. I think that just has to say about what I disliked about this character. And honestly, you guys, seriously, I cannot complain about a lot of things in this TV show. I'm going to complain about some things in the spoilers. You'll get to hear that. But I cannot complain about the way that this TV show was developed. I really enjoyed the plot. I didn't get bored with a lot of episodes. I enjoyed the actors and the actresses. I think that the setup was great. I don't think there was anything wrong with that, and I don't understand why people are hating on it so much. So that's my spiel. We're going to get to the spoilers. I'm going to go into the book versus the TV show. So do not watch any further if you haven't finished the show and you don't want things to get spoiled, because this will spoil everything. All right, let's go on to the spoilers. Okay, spoilers, 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 spoilers. Please do not go any further if you don't want this TV show or this book ruined for you, because there are a lot of secrets, and you really don't want to hear them from this video. You want to hear them while you're watching the TV show or reading the book, because they're totally worth it. Anyway, at first in this TV show, I really felt bad for the sisters. I felt bad for Bess. I felt bad for Carrie. I felt bad for Penny at different intervals in the show. By the end, I hated every single one of them. They were horrible. They were all so horrible. But if I had to rank them on likability, Carrie would be first because I like Carrie the best. Penny is second because Penny's just meh. She's horrible, but Bess was horrible. She was horrible the whole entire time to all of her kids and everything. And then it's just like at the end, she's like, I hope Mirren knew that I loved her. And I was like, I didn't know that you loved Mirren because I couldn't tell. You didn't act like you loved Mirren. You were just horrible. The painting scene where she's destroying Mirren's painting, like, what? This family is so many different levels of toxic. And who does that? Who does that to their child? Oh my gosh. Please, guys. Okay, I am not rich. I did not grow up rich. I don't know how these things work. Please tell me that not all rich families are like this, because oh my gosh, guys, that broke my heart for Mirren, because the whole Bess was horrible. I hate in the first couple episodes how they made Gat look like such a terrible person. They made Gat look like he was lying to Katie and that he cheated and lied to her, when Katie knew all along in the book. We're going to go into the book versus the TV show because I can't get into this spoiler review without saying that. But we're going to just start with this. This is my first thing for the biggest thing that's different from the book. Katie knew about Raquel. Okay, guys? She knew. And she decided that she wanted Gat anyway. And so Gat was not a liar and a cheater. He was a cheater, but he was not a liar. And they made Gat look horrible. They made it look like he was really horrible to Katie, when he wasn't. He really wasn't. He was horrible to Raquel. Katie was horrible to Raquel. But he wasn't horrible to Katie. I really liked how that brought, though, that whole little plot line brought Johnny to Katie, and Johnny was protecting Katie. I thought that was really sweet. I enjoyed that. But I don't like how they made Gat look like a butthole. All right? So he's supposed to be contemplation and enthusiasm and ambition and strong coffee. He was not a cheater and a liar. The other things that were different, here's some little bullet points that really, really, really came out to me. There's probably going to be more because I missed some things, but these are the ones that really stuck out to me. Gat and Katie meet in the boathouse when Gat first comes to the island, his very first summer. I forget which summer it was, because Gat is hiding from everyone, and Katie goes to find him. In the book, Katie and Gat meet on the dock when Gat shows up, and Gat just starts chasing after her because he's always chased after Katie. obviously. The accident happens during summer 16 in the TV show. During the book, the accident happens in summer 15. I get why they did this because they wanted to gear it more towards the older side of young adult. So they moved it up to summer 16. I get that. But it was in summer 15 that the accident happened in the book. And then there's a gap, which was also not included in the TV show. After the accident, during summer 16, Katie doesn't go to Beechwood. She goes to Europe with her father and doesn't hear from any of the liars. And then in summer 17, she decides that she wants to go back to get answers. None of that happens in the TV show. It's just summer 16. And then she returns summer 17 to find answers. Apparently, there's a new sister besides Bess and Penny and Carrie, and her name is Rosemary. She is not mentioned in the book. Not at all. But Rosemary died a mysterious death, and nobody knows what happens because they didn't reveal anything in the TV show. I'm assuming we're going to find out about that some point next season, but we'll see. Granny Tipper dies during summer 16. While they're actually on the island right before the accident. This does not happen in the book. I'm pretty sure in the book, Granny Tipper dies before summer 15. I'm almost positive. And then that's when all of the inheritance drama starts, is after Granny Tipper dies in summer 16. And that's when everything starts going wrong. The lemon hunt is definitely different. I thought it was really cute, and it's really on brand for the Sinclairs because it's bougie. But anyway, that's new. That's not in the book. Katie suspected Johnny and Mirren of potentially having something to do with her accident, but at different times. First, she suspected Johnny, then she suspected Mirren, but it was only for like a second. I didn't like that because it felt so out of place. She loved the liars. She absolutely adored the liars. Cadence would have never suspected them of hurting her, so it felt out of place for the TV show and the book. Honestly, for both. Gat stayed outside during the fire and only went back in to save Cadence. I thought this was a nice touch. Only because Gat always chases after Katie. Now, it would have made more sense had they kept the original meeting of Gat and Katie, because then they really always chase after each other. But that's why Gat died, is because he chased Katie back into the house because he didn't see her come out. Because Katie went after the black pearls. That, I'm going to get into that because that made no sense to me. So Katie throws them into the boat, into the water as a symbolic gesture of I'm done with the Sinclair family, yada, yada, yada. She would have never, in the book, she would have never gone back in for black pearls. Never. The dogs dying, yes, that made sense. The black pearls, that completely threw off everything and was not necessary at all. So I hated that plotline. Anyway, Harris Sinclair made everyone else think that the fire was an accident. This brings up some issues for season 2. This did not happen in the book. Harris Sinclair has basically dementia in the book and is losing his wits. The other thing that does not happen is apparently Carrie sees Johnny too. You find that out at the end of season 1 for We Were Liars. So Johnny's going to be back, I'm assuming. And I don't know how that's going to look for season 2. But anyway, here are my predictions for season 2. We'll get to figure out what happens to Rosemary. We're basically going to follow, I'm going to assume, Bess, Carrie, and Penny during their summer 16, whatever reckoning Bess said that all of the liars dying was. So I think we'll get to figure that out. I think Harris Sinclair is going to continue to blackmail Katie because what loving grandfather doesn't blackmail his oldest granddaughter into becoming the heir of the throne and the Sinclair fortune? Moving on. Regardless of what happens next season, I think I'd be perfectly fine not watching another season because of the way that it tied up. It finishes with the book, the We Were Liars book, and so, I don't need any more. I never read Family of Liars, which I think it's probably going to follow that storyline because I haven't read it. So that might be season 2, but I'd be perfectly fine not to continue. I absolutely sobbed like a freaking baby this season. I knew I was going to sob as soon as I started watching this. I'm like, I'm going to cry like a baby at the end. I'm going to cry like a baby at the end. But I did not expect, I just want to say this because it's been heavy on me. I did not expect to cry so hard when Cadence is saying goodbye to Johnny and Johnny's talking about hell and he says, I don't want to burn again. I had to fix my makeup. I cried so freaking hard. I was sobbing to the point that my dog, I'm getting tears right now. I was sobbing to the point that my dog came and laid her head on my lap because she's like, Mom, what the heck is wrong with you? Are you okay? Are we dying? Are we going to die? I couldn't get myself together. Because him saying that on screen, it broke me. It broke me and it hurt so bad. I didn't think I'd cry this much. I cried a lot. I really did. And it was for that scene. I didn't even cry when Katie said goodbye to Gat. I cried so hard when Johnny was just talking about how he doesn't want to burn again. Because I'm gonna stop there because I'm just gonna go into a dark hole again. I can't do this. Anyway, if you want a good cry, watch this whole season because you will get a good cry and it will break you. There is my review for We Were Liars, the new Amazon Prime TV series. I'm a little wiped right now from the emotional turmoil that I knew. I went into this knowing that this show would cause because I read the book. But I still wasn't prepared. I really enjoyed it. I don't understand all the hate that it's getting. I think it was casted perfectly, in my opinion. While there were a lot of extra things going on that didn't happen in the book, I get from a TV show standpoint why they had to do them. Did I like everything? No, not really. But I really enjoyed the show as a whole. So if you like, teenage, angsty TV shows with drama and mystery and fun and romance, you will like this show. It's the same showrunner as The Vampire Diaries. I know I'm going to mention The Vampire Diaries all the time. I love The Vampire Diaries. So if you like The Vampire Diaries, you'll probably like this because Julie Plec is amazing. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments. Please let me know if your heart is completely broken too, because I'd love to know that, that I'm not alone. And if you like this video, please subscribe because I do videos like this all the time. I love my books, I love my shows, and I love my movies. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.